Hello, welcome to Mindfulness for Nursing, Enhancing Stress Management and Well-Being. I'm Winslow Woodland. This course provides nurses with practical mindfulness techniques to manage stress, prevent burnout, and promote well-being. Participants will engage in guided exercises and real-life applications tailored for nursing professionals. What we hope to do today is define mindfulness and its relevance to nursing, identify common stressors and their impact, demonstrate mindfulness techniques for stress management, and lead you to develop your own personal mindfulness action plan. Consider that mindfulness is rooted in Buddhist traditions. However, it's become popular in recent years amongst various secular populations in healthcare and educational and workplace settings, from preschoolers to older adults across the world. Let's talk about a car's tire. Have you ever seen a car that's riding with one tire that's flat, but the car is still moving? I'd like you to consider that analogy when we think of how nurses often may be having difficulties in their physical health, their spiritual health, their mental health, or even just general stress going on in their families. And if one of those areas of life is not soundly secure, and that nurse continues to perform, it's highly likely that that nurse may experience burnout, may not be performing optimally, and could, and hopefully not, end up causing an error or not providing optimal patient care. As we mentioned, mindfulness is based in Buddhist traditions. But mindfulness based interventions, particularly mindfulness based stress reduction strategies, were launched by John Kabat-Zinn in 1979. And mindfulness based cognitive therapy was introduced by Segal, Teasdale, and Williams based off of mindfulness based stress reduction strategies. And they're two of the most widely adopted mindfulness based interventions. And when we talk about these programs, they're usually 8 weekly mindfulness sessions and a 1 day retreat. What we're offering you today is a simple, basic understanding of mindfulness. This is no way comparable to the full programs offered by the Tisdale, Seagal, and Williams. What is mindfulness? Well, mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and engaged in the moment without judgment. It involves focusing on thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations with awareness and acceptance. Mindfulness is often cultivated through techniques like meditation, deep breathing, and body scanning. And its relevance to nursing, it's particularly important in nursing because of the high levels of stress, emotional demands, and complex decision making involved in patient care. And here's how it can benefit nurses. Mindfulness helps nurses manage stress by promoting relaxation and reducing anxiety, which can lead to improved well being and job satisfaction. By being fully present, a result of mindfulness, nurses can better listen to patients, show empathy, and provide higher quality care. And mindfulness fosters emotional regulation, helping nurses cope with challenging situations such as patient suffering or high pressure demands. And a clearly focused mind can lead to improved clinical judgment and fewer errors, as well as preventing burnout because practicing mindfulness can reduce burnout and compassion fatigue, which are common in nursing due to emotional and physical demands. Being mindful also helps in communication, particularly in interaction with patients, family members, and colleagues, and it promotes active listening. Many healthcare institutions are now encouraging mindfulness programs to support nurses' well-being, enhancing patients' outcomes. Have you or your institution explored mindfulness practices in your work setting? Studies have shown that when we intentionally place our internal focus of attention in mindfulness practices, we induce a unique state of brain activation during this practice. Mindfulness is the practice of being wholly present and engaged in the moment without judgment. It involves focusing on thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensation with awareness and acceptance. Mindfulness is often cultivated through techniques of deep breathing and body scanning. And as stated, it can help nurses manage stress by promoting relaxation and reducing anxiety. Being fully present, nurses can better listen to patients, show empathy, and provide higher quality care. Absolutely essential to providing the best for the patient. And nurses feel a sense of satisfaction when they're operating at their best. Mindfulness fosters emotional regulation, helping nurses cope with challenging situations, such as patients suffering in working in high pressure environments. Active love is an example that I've personally used to assist me in being very mindful and practicing active love, meaning I would project love towards stressful environments and stressful people that I would have to encounter as I went about my day working as a nurse. It helped me develop my emotional resilience and ultimately improved my experience at work, which I believe led to better outcomes for patients that I supported. Being mindful can also help with better decision making, and it improves judgment and ultimately reduces errors. Mindful people report reduced stress, and it's believed that mindfulness can reduce burnout and compassion fatigue, which are common due to nursing's emotional and physical demands. In stressful healthcare environments, nurses can balance their energy in a manner to keep the temperature of rooms reasonable, meaning the stress that is often a part of power struggles between doctors, nurses, and other clinicians, families, doctors, nurses, and the patient, and just sometimes colleague to colleague, nurse to nurse. So mindfulness helps improve people's ability to communicate and be effective communicators, even in stressful environments. Many healthcare institutions currently offer their nurses and other staff mindfulness based support training as well as mindfulness activities. Have you yourself explored mindfulness practices in your work or personal life? Does your institution offer such options for you? According to studies, the most common strategies applied by nurses to cope with stress are recognizing one's own limitation and learning new skills and dealing with problems immediately, keeping good fitness levels, having peer supports, and applying personal coping strategies. A net of social support and having additional relationships with friends, family, or partner. And good supervision at work also is reported as important, and good relations and interests outside of work and managing stress and maintaining good mental health. Here we've identified some of the commonly known demands and stressors of nursing. It's physically demanding, often it's short staffed. Nurses experience witnessing trauma on a regular basis, and some institutions have morale and labor issues, which further complicates the nurses' experience at work. Here we list some of the physiological, and psychological effects of stress. A classic triad of symptoms characterizes burnout: emotional exhaustion, negativity, and cynicism, and reduced professional efficacy, according to the World Health Organization study from 2019. The WHO defined burnout as a syndrome that results from unsuccessful management of chronic workplace stress, a phenomenon specific to the occupational context and not to other parts of life. Professional burnout is alarmingly prevalent amongst nurses in the United States, and in studies conducted before the pandemic, researchers reported burnout rates of 35 to 45%. Nurses younger than 30 suffer from more burnout than their older counterparts. Furthermore, in recent studies with large national sample of midwives found that burnout affected 2 in 5 of the participants. Almost 1/3 of all certified nurse midwives and certified midwives in the United States participated in a study, which was the first investigation of midwifery burnout from the United States since 1986. As we've mentioned, mindfulness can help with anxiety and depression, which is stated as decreasing with the use of meditation, a mindfulness practice. Mental clarity and focus can improve. Immune system function has been reported in studies to improve. And there are also studies that say your main brain may be protected from declines due to aging and stress using meditation. Your mood improves as well. And others have reported feeling more self confident, and leaders also state that they've seen an improvement in their ability to lead. And as someone who works in nursing as well as leads people, I can honestly attest to this self confidence and leadership, as I believe that my own mindfulness journey has shown me to be a more effective leader. Now, if you ask my team, they may give you another answer, but few have actually reported seeing a change since I've been practicing mindfulness. Something to think about. Practical mindfulness techniques included breath awareness, guided breathing, body scan meditation, mindful listening, and patient care. And practicing quick mindfulness strategies during busy shifts are also ways that you can help improve your ability to manage stress during your day as a nurse. How do we practice mindfulness? Well, there is no wrong answer to this question, particularly if the focus of the person practicing mindfulness is to be intentional about being present in the moment, not worrying about what happened before and not thinking about what will happen after. Shutting down all thought and being present in the moment is the basis of mindfulness. Practicing breathing techniques is a significant piece of the practice of mindfulness. Here we have a video, the link will be provided, that will help you with breathing techniques. Body scan meditation is simply focusing on various regions of the body. Let's try a quick technique. Imagine where you see in this image the red, all of your stress lying in the pit of your stomach, and it becomes a ball. And as you close your eyes and you think of this ball that's in the pit of your stomach, that it rises up into your chest, and then it rises up into your head, and then ultimately into your brain. And as you breathe in, you grab it, and it becomes present with your breath that you're going to exhale. And when you exhale this stress, it's released into the universe. Now we wait a moment or two. Now we inhale positivity, creativity, peace, health, spiritual awareness, and love. And as we breathe in these things, they go across our brain, down our neck, into our chest, and they replace all of that stress that was living in our stomach, and then it spreads throughout the rest of our body to the tips of our toes, and we're now a positive unit, ready to take on the next challenge, knowing that at that point, the next challenge may become the next pit of our stomach, requiring us to practice this body scan meditation all over again. That's why it's so important to keep this practice regularly. What did you experience in the body scan breathing technique? Were you able to focus on the instruction and experiencing your breathing in real time? You know, you can practice this almost anywhere. It doesn't require a lot of time. Just sitting comfortably in a relaxed posture, focusing your breath or other sensory anchors. And when your mind wanders, just kindly bring it back to your focal point. And as far as practicing everyday mindfulness, integrate mindfulness in your daily routines, like pausing a moment before you answer your phone to cultivate a calmer, more attentive state. Very important that you develop strategies for maintaining your mindfulness and that you work with your team members, building coalitions in your facilities, your offices, your hospital, to overcome barriers to practicing mindfulness in healthcare settings. And don't just take it from me. Read some case studies on real life applications so that you can be informed when you start spreading the word of the importance of how mindfulness can work to improve you and the life expectancies and qualities of your peers working in nursing. One of the things that's helped me significantly lately, I've been waking up, and the first thing that I focus on is being mindful and incorporating mindfulness into my daily routines, such as washing my hands, showering, you know. And if you breathe as you carry out these routines, practice your breathing intentionally and at intervals. And occasionally, if you're in a stressful environment, say at work, take 5 to 10 minutes, find a quiet place, and take a mini vacation, closing your eyes and removing yourself from the stressful environment. One of the things I like to do is to think about my granddaughter. Um, Somehow 5 or 7 minutes of thinking of her relieves me of stress. Develop a personalized mindfulness plan that includes a self-care routine. Um, Set up mindfulness goals and look at resources to continue to practice. And they exist and they're all over. You can find resources on the internet. Lots of health plans have resources. And as you're setting your goals, be intentional, thinking about the other obligations of your life, but ensure that you incorporate mindfulness into your day, because I guarantee you, if you incorporate mindfulness, all of the other things that you have as responsibilities will improve. And as far as creating a self care routine, many people believe that they have a self care routine, but if it doesn't include mindfulness, maybe just standing there, breathing, and saying something as simple as, "May I be free from inner and outer harm," as you breathe and focus. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Repeat that 5 times, focusing on your breathing as you stated. Only focus on your breathing and stating, "May I be free from inner and outer harm. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease." That's a mindfulness practice. Mindfulness can be the basis of wellness on a spectrum: social wellness, physical wellness, spiritual wellness, environmental wellness, mental wellness, emotional wellness, and occupational wellness. As you go about setting mindfulness goals, move more, move for fun, have consistent exercise 2 to 3 times a week, 20 to 30 minutes. Meditate, practice yoga, maybe daily, 15 to 20 minutes a day. Eat healthy, stay hydrated. It can also help you improve your mindfulness goals, all in unison. Resources for continued practices: gyms and health plans offer basic fitness routines. YouTube videos exist on breathing, body scanning, yoga, and meditation. And there are actually studios that you can uh, become members for a reasonable price. And add to your cadre of resources for continued practices. This concludes the presentation, and I would like to thank you for taking the time to allow me to offer you this resource on mindfulness, particularly for nurses. Here are resources used in developing this presentation, and I hope you truly embrace mindfulness and that you share with others the benefits of mindfulness. And lastly, hopefully you can work with your employer so that you and your colleagues can have that as a resource to be the best, healthiest nurses supporting patients that you can be. Peace.